Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is our time for our conversation with Minerals Commission. We started a bit later today, but I'll try and speed up a bit and get you the information that you require as far as this is concerned. Mr. Martin Ayisi, who's the CEO of the Minerals Commission, is here with me. Good morning, Martin. Mm-hmm. And welcome back. Akwaba.
Thank you.
How did it go? You were in Canada. You told us you were traveling.
Yes.
It was a mining thing?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest mining investment exhibition and conference in the world.
In the world?
Yes.
Bigger than the Australian one?
Yes.
Okay. And bigger than the South African one?
Yes, the Canada one is the biggest.
Okay.
Then followed by South Africa and Australia. The Australian one is just Africa and Australia. Okay. That's what they call it, Africa Down Under. And you need to be there. So we're there.
The next time I'll go. Next year I'll go.
Oh yes, try.
I see. So how beneficial will this Canadian one be for us, especially with the new discoveries and all the things you tell us about? I'm sure you went to showcase our prospects and of course try and get in some investment here as well. Okay,
normally 5 things. 1, you get to meet people who for some reason couldn't make it to Ghana, because you see, Canada is a giant when it comes to mining.
Right.
So people come all over to your booth, they request for meetings. Even before we leave, they'll make a request. So they make a lot of inquiries and then you get to meet them. So we spend a lot of time attending meetings. So we do that a lot. 2, there are a lot of Canadian investment in mining sector, a lot, particularly in the area of prospecting. So their shareholders would like to meet you to get an update as to what is going on. They have most of the companies run by Ghanaians here. Occasionally they come in, so they take an opportunity to meet you, to talk to you. And then we also showcase what we have, our geology, etc. Then there are instances where some people have made some investments and they want some clarification. So rather than fly from Canada to Ghana, he meets you there. So that is it.
Okay. All right. So the last time you were speaking about the issue of financing, raising capital for mining projects and all that. But before we get on to that, before we continue with that, because I've got a lot of, for the last 2 weeks that you've not been here, I didn't know that this discussion had become that popular. But I've had a lot of people calling me and sending me messages about it. I don't know if you've had that same feedback at your place. But my people at Kpando, they said that they hear me speak with you and you speak about what is being found in O2, OT and Volta and all that. They want to know whether anything has been found around the Kpando area yet.
I know there's a lot of clay deposit around Amfoega. I'm quite familiar with that area because my mom comes from a village not far from there, Piki actually. So and that's why we passed to OT.
Okay. Yes.
So I know that area very well. Around Amfoega, they have a lot of clay. I mean, some high quality clay. So we'll be sending inspectors there. Kpando, I'm not too sure. So what I can do is that I can check the geological map and our data. Maybe next week, I can run some information by you. There are a lot of stuff in Volta region. Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's speak about the raising of capital to finance the mining projects. We were speaking about it the last time. You even used BBNE to illustrate the point and all that. But the big thing we're speaking about had to do with even pension funds, how other jurisdictions have utilized this and how we're a bit late in utilizing some of these things. And of course, your belief that it should be possible for us to raise a lot of the financing internally. And of course, the benefits that come with that. And of course, what we also lose if this financing largely comes from external sources.
Okay. A lot of people have been, in fact, just as I was entering here, a gentleman called me and says he's coming to see me. I think he's from a financial institution.
Okay.
He says, oh, we have some idle funds.
Okay.
So we want to see where to put it in a mining area. I said, okay. So I said, you should come around 12. Hoping by then I would have been back to give him some education. Randy, typically this is what happens. Mining takes 2 forms. In simple terms, either you are exploring or you are mining. You normally start with exploration, and it's just barely 5% chance of success. How do they raise the money?
Why so? I thought that you have all these geological things that have been done already.
Randy, it's one thing saying gold is here, and it's one thing commercially you can exploit it.
Okay.
So when they say, oh, we found a mineral, or we found gold here, or copper, or whatever here, that is just a discovery. But you need to do more work to know what exactly is there and whether or not you can extract it. There are all kinds of minerals located in certain places, but for now we cannot extract them because either the grade, the quantity is not the. I mean, if you look at the current technology available, you cannot do that. You know, there are mining companies that are going back to go and mine areas that they stopped mining years back.
Yes.
Because of technology and of course maybe the price of gold and things like that. So it's not easy to get money for exploration. So people pick up licenses and they rush to stock exchanges. Typically Vancouver, Toronto, Perth. Try to raise some money and then come here and then come and do the work. It's very risky. So it is not that easy to get money to fund exploration. Now, once you make the discovery and you're able to quantify the mineral and what you have there, then it means the project is de-risked. That is when you now see all these private equity firms, pension funds and co, sovereign wealth, running to you because now it is clear there's gold there, you know the quantity and what you can mine. That's what happens. So the banks, the pension funds, and those with private money and all those things, they only come in, or they normally come in when you make a discovery. Particularly you have a feasibility, and even when you have a mining lease, you have all your licenses in place now. So that's what happens. Now, in the case of Africa, perhaps except South Africa, almost all the monies that pour in for exploration and mining come from outside. When you do exploration and you spend millions of dollars, if the person doesn't find anything or the entity doesn't find anything, they leave. We don't refund anything for them or to them. What we rather get is we get data, because as you work, you give us geological data. So we keep the geological data and somebody comes to take it and then improve on it. But then when he makes a commercial find and he gets his mining lease and starts mining, all the monies he spent on exploration, he has to recover them. Okay? Now here's my worry. I told you, I think last week or some time ago, that many of these jurisdictions where these monies come from have their own risk profile. As far as we are concerned, Africa is the riskiest place when it comes to investment. Politically unstable, we change our rules, and then things happen overnight. You know, when they compare us to Western standard, some take the risks anyway, particularly when you have some big players around. So that's what normally happens. So when you are taking money from Europe, you are taking money from North America or Australia to come and invest in a mine in Ghana and some other parts of Africa, the interest rate is very high. You'll be lucky these days if you get even around 8%. It's more than that. But in your country, maybe 1%, or, you can just go to the stock market and raise money. So that is it. So I like to be very practical. I like to be very rare. So take this $1 billion.
Yes.
That Newmont says I'm going to use to build a Ahafo mine, which will be ready maybe in 2.5 years' time. Now, this is money coming from Newmont, their own money, and money that they've got either from their shareholders or from this gold, because they have properties all over the continent. Randy, this money will come with interest. I will check the rate because this is public information, is available. Now, Randy, when you sell the gold, they are not going to repatriate cedis. They are going to take dollars back to US. So the 1 billion will go with some extra millions of dollars because of the loan amount. So the question I ask myself is, if you raise that 1 billion in Ghana here, the money stays here. That is the issue. Because when they take the money out and they sell the gold, when they take the gold out and they sell it, they have to take the money. They are allowed to keep some money to pay their loans before they repatriate the rest into the country. So that is what I want us to understand. And then I have this, I don't know to say funny or simple analogy. So take two of the biggest multinationals for gold in the world, Anglo Gold Ashanti and Gold Fields. These are South African companies.
Okay.
Anglo Gold Ashanti, it used to be Anglo Gold, and then our famous Ashanti, then there was that, is it merger or takeover, but that is history now. The two companies are in South Africa. They are South African companies. They have headquarters there. They have mines across the globe. They are in Australia. They are in Africa. That is Ghana, Guinea. You know, they are in Tanzania. They are in US, all over the place. Anglo Gold Ashanti has sold all their mines in South Africa.
They've sold all?
Yes, they don't have any mine in South Africa. Yes, that is headquarters, and they have two big mines here, Obuasi and Iduaprim.
Why?
And then they are, well, it's just corporate decisions.
Okay.
Okay, it's quite expensive to run mines in South Africa, gold, because they are so deep, and then labor costs. So it's cheaper, you know, to run a gold mine.
Purely financial decisions.
That is it, yeah. So then, so even, you know, they just announced today, there's an announcement by Anglo Gold Ashanti and Gold Fields that is available now publicly. So people have started calling me that they want to do a JV and create the biggest gold complex in Africa. Iduaprim, and then the one in Takwa.
Okay.
Yes. Do you understand that? Yeah. So that will involve a lot of investment. The money should be raised from here. So you see, when Ghanaian says we are not getting anything from mining, as a state, as a regulator, ministry, we will need to design our policy in such a way that we capture the entire chain. So what are some of the things that you should be looking at? Local content. Ensure most of the goods and services that they procure are got from here. So take Cardinal $500 million, take Newmont $1 billion. These two have started. Practically 80-90% of this 1.5 billion will go into goods and services, explosives, fuel, lubricants, catering services for contractors and mine workers, civil works, bungalows, and all those things. Okay, before they will start pouring gold in the case of Cardinal next year, and then in the case of Ahafo North, maybe 6 months after Cardinal or a year after. If you sit down here and think that, oh, they brought mine, jobs, taxes and co, the 1.5 billion, these two mines, they will import everything. So my job, our job at Minerals Commission is to ensure that this 1.5 billion they are pouring in within these 2 years, at least 1.3, if not all, that they are going to use to procure goods and services. The goods and services are gotten from here. Fortunately, there are some spaces we have already protected for Ghanaians. Even to the extent that we are saying where you have to import, seek clearance from Minerals Commission and get a Ghanaian to do it. So clearly, Ahafo North, they will do contract mining. Cardinal, they will do contract mining. The two will do TSF. These two alone is running into already $1 billion. So if we did not put contract mining, surface operation, and say now henceforth for Ghanaians in 2019, they will have brought companies from Australia or South Africa or Canada to come and do it. The money will go back. Okay? TSF. A lot of companies from what do you call it, Australia, and then the one from South Africa, they call it WBHO. They have been doing it. We just put it on the mining list this January. It is costing over $30 million to build a Cardinal one. A Ghanaian just got it. So it means that 3 months ago, if Minerals Commission had not insisted that tailing storage facility should be done by a Ghanaian, they will have given nearly a $40 million contract to a South African company.
Right.
So one area to ensure that mining benefits this country is to ensure that goods and services. And we are crazy about local content because the receipts that go to government, royalties, taxes, the goods and services are more. Okay? Government will not get anything more than 1 billion, let's say this year, unless the price keep rising. Okay? Nearly twice of that alone is for these 4 mines. So that is one policy, one program that we are designing. Then we can say gradually mining is benefiting the country because the goods and services are being procured here. Even if you're a foreigner, come and do it here, like fabrication, explosives, Orica and Co. that have Sonitra, that are from South Africa. They have come here, set up at the mines, and then they are, doing the explosives, they're mixing the ammonium nitrate and the fuel to get the explosives to break up the rocks. So that is what we are doing, and we are doing very well. We've come very far from about 10 items, just about 10 years or so ago. We are not talking about 50. Within 1 year, we have moved from 41 and 50. Now, again, let me use Cardinal and Ahafo North. These 1.5 billion that are coming in, they will come through the financial system. Okay? They will bring the money through the banking system. Now, the rule effective this year is that all these construction sites and all those things that are going on there, they will do insurance. We are preserving 60% for Ghanaian Insurance Company. And then we are saying not less than 60% of whatever money you bring in, financial service, including sale of minerals. Make sure the monies go through Ghanaian banks. So the likes of Car Bank, Prudential, and Co. So these are the wonderful things we are doing to make sure that we capture as much as possible the goods and services where they spend money. So that is one. Now the other one that we are also saying is that, yes, we are doing well in local content. We are protecting Ghanaians in certain spaces. We are ensuring that even where they have to bring foreigners to come and set up here. Okay? They have started giving security contracts for the Ahafo contracts and Cardinal.
Okay.
It's going to Ghanaians. If we didn't put it on a list, or have brought South Africans or Americans to come and do this. So that's one big thing for us. Then the other one is the money, the one that, you said by popular request, people are interested. The one that we are interested now, which will be the real game changer, is to ensure that the billions are raised here, at least as much as possible. And I keep repeating, 3 things are happening. New mines are coming on stream. We've not seen new mines for a while. Okay? About $2 billion. That is it. Then some are expanding. The likes of Wasan Underground and also Ahafo Ahafo, which has now been extended to cover the underground. Then some are doing the redevelopment. Obuasi, still ongoing, and then Bibiani. Obuasi did well last year. Okay? I think about 200-something thousand ounces. This year they will getting to 300 or so. So very soon we'll be doing more than 5 million ounces of gold, and perhaps we can become number 4 or 5 or so in the world. We are not done yet. There's a lot of gold. So here is what Minerals Commission we are doing. We are saying that we want to see the billions being raised there. Look, we are seeing about 4 or 5 billions within 3-4 years. These 2 billion is for the new mines. I have not even talked about the 1 billion Wasa is sinking into a Chimping mine. The nearly 200 million or so that Bibiani is using, and then the billions Obuasi has spent so far. Randy, all these monies came from outside. But I believe there's a lot of money in Makola and where my in-laws are, Aboso Okai. People can come millions of dollars in this country. Okay? So if we wake up in the next 3, 4, 5 years, we realize that, a lot of mining operations are being financed locally, whether it's sovereign fund, whether it is private equity fund, or your 3 or whatever. Stock exchange and all those are being done there. Then we know the thing is benefiting because nobody will take the money outside. So that is why I am so crazy about this MIF thing. Next week, possibly I may not be here. I've spoken to the MIF CEO. So if I happen to come, if I'm not able to come, I'll let him come and take my slot because it's all mining. To come and explain all these wonderful things they are doing. MIF, how many years? Barely 2-3 years. They hold stake in Bibiani. They hold stake in other government institutions. That is our royalty. They are supposed to manage our royalties and dividends by law. So that is sovereign fund. Norway, is it not $1 trillion in their sovereign wealth fund? Yes. They have investment in all these fossil fuel companies, Mobil and all these companies all over the world. They have 1 trillion. A population, a little over 5 million. So our sovereign fund, call it that way, in mining now, is beginning to invest in some of these.
So when I speak with some of the investment people,
yes,
especially after our last discussion,
yes,
one of the issues they raise is about the risk. So they keep telling me that, look, Randy, look at what is happening in this country today. You know, and DDEP, haircuts and all those things, the investment climate, I mean, problematic and all that. They say, look.
Randy, let me cut you rudely.
Yes.
They have rather given you the reason why they should rush.
So they say that, look, this industry is volatile. Prices could drop, and they could also drop quite steeply. I mean, it is such a risk. It's a reason why we are not too comfortable.
So, you know, don't worry. I'll say a few things. I'll give a few responses, but I need to sit with them. Randy, let me go back to what is now even boring to the ears of Ghanaians, because I keep saying it everywhere. Yesterday I was on GTV, I said it. Today I'll say it at Asempa. Randy, United States of America, the world's largest economy, 25% of the world's GDP. They have the biggest mining company in the world, Newmont. They have operations across all the continents. They are even about to merge with a company in Australia. Is it Newcrest or so? 17 billion. They are still in the throes of navigating that regulatory bottleneck. They are about having a third mine here. By the end of 2025, let's say they will ramp up in 2026. Randy, Newmont will be doing 1.4 million ounces of gold. This is a country where they don't even know where Ghana is located. I told you that when you mention in the Americas, North or South, when you mention Ghana, they say Guyana. Okay? So people have brought their money. You Google, when we live here, let them go and Google Vanguard Group, okay, Corporation of US. They have about $7 trillion assets management. You know Australia, where they eat, drink, everything is mining. All their trillions of dollars in pension funds. You know the bulk of the money where they put the investment in all those mining stocks in Australia. That is it. So I don't understand them. I sincerely believe that they don't have the education. Okay? Let me tell you one way by which they can even do it, and just one out of the several when I meet them, so that they will downplay this fear thing. Now listen. Randy, listen carefully. So you explore, you find a mineral. You've done your feasibility, you are given a license, it is ratified. You are about to start. You need, let's say, $200 million to build the mine. You can approach a financial institution in Ghana and say, I need $200 million to build a mine. Okay? There's something we call meta streaming or whatever. So the company will say, okay, how do I get the money back? Then I'll say, okay, I can only give you 100 million. Then start the mine. When you produce the gold, give me $100 million worth of gold. Okay? When the gold goes to maybe Rand Refinery or some bank in Switzerland, you know, when it's done, everything, take it to this bank for me. They will deliver it. So you don't necessarily have to take the money. You know this Ukraine thing, people are rushing. Go and look at the amount of gold central banks are buying all over the place. Because it holds your currency. Assuming Ghana has, let's say, $5 billion worth of gold, you know, gold, properly refined gold, international standard. Maybe we are holding it at UK or Switzerland or even Bank of Ghana here. You can't go anywhere and you want to borrow money, they will not look down on you. Okay, so you can take the money in gold and hold it. Okay, when things, you know, then
because
you sell.
Because we are import dependent, we always like to look at our results from the import cover point of view.
So you look at this. I think last year, January or so, the cities was around 6 or so.
Yes.
And it's about 12 or so.
Yes.
So you have cities. And you run somebody's tier 3. You take the money. Where do you want to take it to?
My fear, from their point of view, is that yes, today, gold will make sense.
So let nobody come and tell me that we are not benefiting from mining. Because I'm giving you all the good things we are doing to make sure that mining benefits us. So if you want to sit on your billion, then that's okay. Maybe they prefer real estate, but people are making money here. What is the risk? People who don't even know where you are located.
So why are you not engaging them properly?
I've started engagement.
Okay.
About 5. I've met about 5 banks and institutions last week.
What's the feedback?
Okay. Oh, they want it. I'm saying somebody is waiting for me in my office now. When I finish, I'm going to. So they've been listening to us. So they've been rushing. They've been talking to us. So some say, oh, we want education. I don't need to meet them as a group.
Yes.
Because you are not meeting doctors or lawyers where you are making education. When I suggested that, they say, no, we want to come individually because we see things differently. So far, I've met about 7 companies, 5 of them banks. The other 2 were companies that manage people's assets. Basically, is it 2 or 3? They've come and they are interested. So I'm connecting them to some of the mining companies to start a discussion. I don't need to mention it. There's a company that requires some money to put in. Okay, yeah. So MIF is doing it. MIF is doing it. That is it. They put in money and they hold equity and things like that. So over the years, that is it. That's our sovereign money. It's public knowledge.
MIF is a state company.
Yes, MIF is a Minerals Income Investment Fund established by an act of parliament basically to manage our, free carry interest and dividends and all those things on behalf of the state. And they are quickly putting these things in mining because folks there understand mining. Okay, they have the knowledge, and we talk practically every day. They run all the due diligence. I'm always in touch with him. We work together because I'm also a Ghanaian, and I'm encouraging it. It will never go wrong. So apart from local content, I'm also saying that now we have a law which says that they should list. So those lithium guys, they will list.
When are they starting?
We're still wrapping up on 1 or 2 of their regulatory issues. Once we finish, that is it. And MIF has come to say that they are going to buy a stake in it. Yes.
That's the one in Infantima.
Yes, the one in Infantima, we have to be precise. The sweetest project on earth.
Sweetest?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
It is a good project.
No, you said it's the sweetest on earth. What makes it the sweetest?
If you look at what is coming out, what they have published, the data, what they are going to produce, and then the price of the lithium.
Let's appreciate the sweetness.
So you see, those are the kind of things that we are talking about.
What makes it sweet?
It's a good project, that's all.
We're getting very high grade. We're getting a lot of money.
Maybe I'll come and talk about critical minerals. Okay.
What's the name of that company?
Atlantic Lithium. Actually, the company that holds a license is Barari Development Ghana Limited. And then the Australians have a stake in it and some Ghanaian
it's an Australian
stake.
Company.
Yes, and a Ghanaian stake and all.
There's a Ghanaian stake?
Yes. So they are going to take a stake in it.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a project that will benefit all of us. We have to make sure that we get it right. So once we wrap up on this discussion, maybe next week I'll come and talk about critical minerals. I've just sent you some information where now a lot of companies are rushing now to invest in these critical minerals. Cobalt, zinc, vanadium, lithium,
copper. You mean globally?
Globally. Okay. So what you see is that South African companies, South Korean companies from South Korea, Germany, and then Japan that make a lot of automobiles and cars. They are now rushing.
Lithium is essential.
Yes, they are now rushing to acquire stakes in these so-called critical minerals or green minerals. Okay, so that they will be able to get the product, then they can use it for their flat screens, their car batteries, and all those things. So maybe the next 2 weeks, let's take time and discuss these so-called green minerals, the critical minerals. What is it all about? What is the need for us? Which ones do we have in Ghana? And we have about 3 so far. We have manganese, we have bauxite, we have lithium. And then there's exploration going on for graphite around Wa.
Graphite?
Yes, graphite is also used in batteries. It's quite a lot in Mozambique and Tanzania. And there are a whole lot of things in this country.
Okay.
So that is it.
We need to
But do you know that Ghanaians are understanding mining now?
Yes.
Oh my God. True. People are rushing to Minkom.
No, it's a good decision we had this show.
And I didn't know. Well, I'm not surprised. All along people thought that, mine. Okay, Obuasi, we've asked people to mention a few times because of social studies at GSS or secondary school. Obuasi, Dunkwa, maybe Takwa, and now we hear the north. They are somewhere in the bush, they dig stuff, and we hear government 10%. Then they go and sell the thing even raw, we don't get anything. Then when we decide, because that is what people say, so when we decided to go out and massively educate Ghanaians about what the whole thing entails, then people say, Sana Adienote. So people come to us and say, Ayisi, is that how the thing looks like? I say, yes. Then it tells you that if Perhaps my predecessors, that is not to say I'm the most intelligent person, were reaching out and then we were telling people actually what goes into mining. Maybe by now, this 1 billion I have enough, Ghanaians will be making the money available.
Right.
So I have a tall order or job, whatever, to just convince Ghanaians that, look, go and put your money in gold and hold it. Look, some of our brothers, sisters, parents, and grandparents, they don't need the money. You have somebody who has $5 million or $2 million and gold. He doesn't even use them. He doesn't even need the money. It's just like security or something for him. It's okay. He has his house. He does other business. He just go and buy gold and sleep. Okay? So anybody who bought gold last year around this time, if he's selling, he's making money. So these pension funds, they should get all those. It doesn't mean it should be in there 20 years. The price of gold is now over $1,900 because of the problem that is going, that bank also that has purportedly collapsed in U.S.
Silicon.
Yes, so people, Credit Suisse and Co. is affecting everybody. There's panic. And then when there's panic, the safe haven? Gold.
Yeah.
So if you bought $50,000 worth of gold in cities in January, even from small-scale miners, and you are selling it today, you got money.
By law,
what investment will give it?
By law, can individuals buy
Why
gold
not?
and
Why?
keep the gold themselves?
Why?
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
Everything is by law.
Okay.
That is it. So very soon I'll start holding gold. I'll be buying a lot because I understand it.
Please don't direct the robbers to your house.
You don't hold gold. People think we have gold in Minerals Commission.
Oh, at the office.
Oh, then they will. So people say, why don't you display a few gold or jewelry? I say that will be they will rob us.
Maybe in designing your office,
no, we
can just do something and put all the minerals in Ghana. You can just put something
I'll
there,
put like manganese, bauxite and all. When I got a job in Minerals Commission 21 years ago, I went to a gold mine. Then I saw the security there. I said, my God. Then the following day, we went to Ghana bauxite and went to manganese, and I saw the difference. I mean, you go to Ghana manganese and people walk around and go, manganese, what are you going to do with it? Like, you need to carry a certain quantum. And then, where will you take it?
But I didn't know gold was that heavy. When Dr. Jonah took us to the underground, when we left there, he brought us somewhere, we saw the bars. Then he said, Anglo Gold has decided to give us a gift. So each of us,
got gold.
We have a bar. We should take it away.
I see.
Yes.
Carry
it yourself. Then we started. Nobody could.
You cannot carry it.
They said, but if you can't carry it, then you can't have it.
That's a great man, eh?
Yeah.
Practically, that man has inspired me so much. And many of the things we are doing at Minerals Commission, we took a lot of lessons from him. For example, you cannot write the history of this country when it comes to mining. You can hate him for whatever reason without mentioning Sam Jonah. His name should not even just be written in gold, it should be written in platinum.
Do we have platinum?
Oh, yeah, we are seeing excepts.
In Ghana?
Oh, there's nothing that we don't have. It's a matter of time. You know something? When it comes to skills development, it's all about him. What he did in Ashanti. The people he trained, they are the ones who are now running their mines.
True.
Some of them have even gone on retirement. What we are doing at Mincom, the massive investment in skill development, it's all the Sam Jonah type of thing that is inspiring us.
Even in the field of finance and investment, many of the people you see are Ashanti.
Fresh guys from school, when he was a boss at AGC, the then Ashanti Goldfields, they are the ones who are CEOs now. Mine managers at the mine. Some of them who are at senior level have retired. So the likes of Eric Bontin, who is the boss at Anglo Gold Ashanti, Joshua Mototi, mechanical engineer, now a mining engineer who started at Ashanti. All of them, they are the ones controlling the mine now.
All right.
So he has really inspired us.
Okay.
And you cannot write the history of mining in this country and leave out some donor. If you do that, you're an evil person.
All right. Okay, so Martin, we'll leave it here today. From next week, we'll start looking at the
critical minerals.
Yes.
If I'm not able to make it, MIF will come.
Yes.
Now, when you listen to MIF,
we need to stop you from traveling for 3 months. So
no,
we can exhaust
it's part of the job. I go to the field, like this weekend like this, I'm heading to one of the mining areas in Ghana. Maybe I want you to listen to MIF first. I'll give him 2 slots. He will come next week and the other week. Then after that, I'll come and discuss critical minerals in general. Perhaps so these investments, assets managers and all those things, they should stay tuned. You know, I'll talk to the guy, and then Thursday, they will listen to MIF, and then they will be encouraged by the investment MIF is making.
Right.
And then they will follow suit.
Okay. All right. So thanks.
Right.
Thanks for joining me,
All right.
and welcome back. Up next.